You will have a very particular session about, and a session about you need to think. Sorry, it's late today, starting to think about it. My master is Dave Snowden. Who knows Dave Snowden? No? Lucky you. So if I'm a badass, he is really a master in this. He creates something called Kinevin, about complex adaptive systems. So we'll talk about complex adaptive systems and absolutely not talking about engineering or talking about something complete awful. People. People, how they interact together. So I need to start. So I try to be very, very non-exhaustive. So usually when I do this session from scratch, people say, Pierre, you can have 10 minutes, then I take 2 hours. So that's my French part. Yeah, this is her fault. Because usually I have a game. A game is called Agile Animal Farm. And if you're really curious, just go on the web, Google it, and get it. It's free because I'm a lazy guy, French. So I try to, I think it's boring since 10 years, always explaining the same things about Agile. Gives me the feeling to be the priest evangelist. I'm French, European, agnostic. So we don't like people. Yeah? Because I don't know people. So I don't like you. Because I don't even know you. Is it correct? Is this fair? It's all about appearance. This is my dressing code, my first contact dressing code. Because most of my customers are very small. So my main customer is a small startup close to Heidelberg, where I'm living. It's called SAP. It's very easy, absolutely not complicated. We're just on the campus there, 10,000 people, and they decided just last year, 80,000 people. Now we are an Agile company. So don't have gray hair. It's getting white. It's a nightmare. And so my action to be there, because everybody is so polite. And everybody's polite and not taking decisions like the US. I want to be there. They say, oh, they are engaged and committed. Then you start, where are these guys? You're sitting alone. Nobody's doing the job. This is awful. And in Germany, it's much better. I say, why should I do this? This makes no sense. And you have to explain again and again. Then sometimes you have a breakthrough. You say, then, okay, now and ever. This is the German. It is cool. People are mostly lovely. So we need to explain, hey, this is not about processes. Other customers are very easy too. One is a private bank in Geneva. It's called Lombard-Odier Private Bank. 400 years old. We want to go agile. So usually in the agile community is, if something is horrible to do, Pierre. Because I define myself not as an agile coach, I just experimenting a lot of things. I love to experiment. So the last time I was in Canada was 38 years ago. I prefer moving in other areas. Sorry. I get just a few invitations. I say, okay, we are coming at the end of the year. My customer said, Pierre, can you reduce the budget? I have to go to Montreal. Good, go, go, go. Okay, that's why I'm here. Yeah, sorry. I guess you expected much more, but this is just me. So this is my first contact dressing code. Usually I make Snickers. And this is quite warm here. We have -7. So I say, where are you? It's like something tropical. It's called Montreal. We just have 5 degrees. Kidding. Snow, no snow. I just need to wear socks, so I never wear socks. So I don't have socks, I have always jeans, I have always a shirt, not in my pants outside. This is my dressing code, usually. Because I don't expect that people are looking at me like, who I am, but I have to understand who I am really. And this is what I expect from everybody. So if you think I have 2 daughters, and I rate them up in this way. So I have badass daughters, and I love having badass daughters. I'm a badass coach, and I'm just working with badass coaches. So we are not nice. Nice is my family name. So I can do all the shit ever. It's always a nice job. Okay, so you see level, you have to think twice. Okay, so one thing is, I have a couple of regrets. We did it not good. We, Agile coach community, since the last decade. I don't see really Agile companies. Okay, startups, no matter, not a problem. But companies say, we want to be Agile. We want to make an Agile transformation. And you go there and say, where is it? Hey, developers there. Yeah, look right. And you have to look where? And you don't see something really what matters. But you can say, yes, this is Agile. So we did it wrong. Now I started thinking, why did we do this wrong? Because we started, it's a methodology, so we had a fight. It's a methodology just for engineers. XP days, people started thinking, hey, it's our job, product owners. No, this is business, the voice of the customer, some kind of bloody business analyst. And then we evolved. We discovered, is it perhaps the methodology that we have a huge fight between Kanban and Scrum? It's good, it's college fight, yeah? About this, I think better, etc., etc. And then we thought, and nowadays is Agile a culture? I tested this, but it's easy here, or mostly, let's say, more in the US, because you have just one culture, because USA is multi-ethnic, not multicultural. But my teams, I have Muslims, Sunni and Shiites, and Jews, and different kind of Christians, and people from India. And you can't tell to a guy, hey, you're coming in the morning. No, it's a new Agile culture. Forget your culture. Today, during the day, you are Agile. And at the end of the day, you can recover your culture. But please, stay authentic. Schizophrenic, isn't it? This is just stupid. You say, okay, culture doesn't work. Then I say, what second level is Agile mindset? Nowadays, everybody says Agile is a mindset. Good. So does it mean if you have an Agile mindset that your company is Agile? Have fear to respond. Come on. No, you can have an Agile mindset with a bloody command and control company. It doesn't work. Now, is Agile behavior? Let's say we have a system, but the system behaves in an Agile way, so you can stay an asshole in this system and always be Agile. And this is funny, this works. Yeah, sorry. I tested in, I say, okay, this just works in Germany because we're a little bit crazy. Then I tested in the UK. Works. I tested in Dubai. Works. Tested in Lebanon, have an office there. Works. Tested everywhere, it works. Testing in USA doesn't work. Don't worry. Okay. It's about people. Social. Okay. So the thing is, this is the summary of what I try to talk to today. So I'm not a good speaker. I'm not speaking well English, or perhaps not speaking your English. Who is speaking another language? Who is speaking French? Who is not speaking French? Okay, you out. Okay, who is coming from Canada? Who is not coming from Canada? Where are you from? Morocco. Salam alaikum. So I was Casablanca, Rabat, I know this. Excellent. Who is coming from another place? France? France. France. Who else? Where? Ukraine. Ah, this is a good place. Agile in Kiev. Cuba? The best place. But not the good one. The best is coming from Martinique. Everybody knows this. The French one. So we're just good in wine and rum. Anyway, good. So I'm a French guy from Germany with mother tongue Germany. So I understand Montreal when you are bilingual. I grew up bilingual. So everybody in my family speaks minimum 2-3 languages. My daughters are speaking 5. My oldest daughter is living in Sevilla, south of Spain. My youngest is in France. So we're traveling a lot. But when you go from Heidelberg to London, you just need 1 hour flight. I need 1 hour flight to go to Copenhagen, 1 hour to Berlin, 3 to Moscow, perhaps 1 to Geneva. In between, I paid less to come here than for Geneva, and 1.5 to Rome, and everything is very close. Who spent time in Europe? Who understands European people? So we are not cheerleaders or quarterbacks. So when you say change, yeah, change again, yeah, we say, hey, no, I need to understand. If you want to have a lot of fun, you put an American and a German in the same room, talking about change. This is lovely. You're just sitting beside the counting the points, who wins. This is excellent. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so I still have 120 slides, very in detail, so you have to search because I work for SAP. But this is my customer. My own company is called Agile Squared, because it's just one way to do Agile squared. So my Agile way of doing things is no compromises. I don't make compromises. If you want Agile, do Agile. Don't mix it. We try to mix up. It is create just a mess. So do it. Do it properly. So introduction to Agile organization is, like I say, an introduction, is a vision. Something when you start everything, you have to start with the end in mind. If you just do the job, hey, these are requirements, you have 20 days, and you have these resources, start over. Let's check. And people are starting. In Germany, you're not starting. You say, why should I do this? I need more resources. I need 20 days to analyze the topic. It's not possible. So you have to think. So the idea, introduction, is just giving not a solution, not a tool, but perhaps some kind, I hope, a direction. Because I'm a bad speaker. So, Agile. What is Agile? Is Agile user stories in Jira? Agile is people and interactions in the core. And so when I do it Agile in Arabic countries or in the Middle East, people understand what this means. What happens when you meet first somebody in Arabic countries? Who are you? Who is your family? Where are you from? And this is 5 days. You just they need to understand who you are. And am I able to work with you? And then when it's work, then you start over to work. And this is a huge change. And then you discover this is not only valid in Arabic countries, this is valid in Asia, it's valid in India, everywhere on the globe. Yes, sir? Yeah, you did it. Okay. Slide 2, so who I am, so then you can make, oh. Okay, I just work for small, I'm also, oh yeah. I'm the Agile lead for the global transformation of Daimler Group, small company. So Daimler, they want to be Agile. So say, we want to build the next E-series and S-series in Agile mode, and we start in January, and we are now in November. So hello. So now people, now my customer that come, we want to make it without to understand what are the risks. Then you have to explain what the risks are. Make also strategies for huge banks. So always this stupid. Always stay stupid. I have no breaks. Nobody can control me. So I've been fired a lot. But I'm happy to be fired. Do you agree with that? Most agile transformation fails because of too strong focus on tools and not listening enough to people. Oh yes, Pierre, this is true. Okay, doesn't work, it's too late. So I told the people I'm from the morning, come on. Why most of Agile scaling frameworks doesn't work? They keep the status quo and avoid paradigm shift. But I'm very thankful to SAFe and all these. This gives me a job until my retirement. Because now it's more, hey Pierre, we tried, can you fix this? What's your budget? So it's complicated, it's about paradigm shift. So I have a couple of small stories for you. This indeed is from Life of Brian, has nothing to do with Life of Brian. It's about the farmer. It's about to understand, do you understand the difference between organization and structure? Yes, indeed, we know. No, I will explain it. Easy way. I work with executives. You have to be very, very easy. Like, can you draw? No, take the other colors. Like kids. So I'm not a coach, I'm also a kindergarten coach. So this is the story I told them. So we have a structure, we have a farmer. The farmer has 3 beef in his garden, not backyard, garden. And a night come, hey, farmer, this is cool, you have 3 bees. My daughter will get married this weekend. I need 2 beef, thank you. I say, hey, you stole my beef. Hey, go complain. Where does he go to complain? Go to the Duke. You say, this is not my level of hierarchy. You have to complain to the knight. But this guy fucked me up. I'm European, I'm not politically correct. I'm not correct at all. So I'm insane, I'm not prude. In German, I'm not prude. So, okay, so at the end, this guy has been fucked up. If you're under, you're fucked up. And all this structure, if you see the structure, on the top of the structure was the king, and the king has been nominated by God. And if you're a Christian, you can go complain to the priest or the preacher. You say, oh, please tell me. Oh, you can cry. Perhaps God give you twice when you're dead. Thank you. And you can go complain until you reach the Pope, who has been nominated by God again. This is a conspiracy. So this is something that we repeat since this centuries, and this is the pillars of structure. God and slaves. Okay? You like it, this? This will be terrible afterwards. Culture, mindset, behavior. Like I said before, culture is something very complicated. In Canada, you have different cultures. You have Canadian culture and you have the Quebec culture. And if you don't understand what this is, think about the New Brunswick. Who is come from New Brunswick? Are you speaking Acadian? C'est la Marthe? No, this kind of thing? Okay, so you have distance. Europe is you have just the next village is another culture. So culture is a huge struggle. Mostly when you have huge big culture. So we have mindset, meaning you can have a mindset, but doesn't mean you're all in a system. And it is about behavior. And behavior, you can have good and bad behavior. If you have a good system, this doesn't matter at all. Okay, so like the magical roundabout that I showed you before. Okay, think everything is in detail. I'm European, think about it. It's not simple, you have to think, because we want to make for you chefs, not recipient users. Okay? Hardcore is not for me, Dave Snowden again. I just make copy and paste. It's called collaboration. Next story of Jason. Are you still here? Yeah. Story of Jason. Jason is a junior. He comes in this excellent structure when on the top you have a CEO. He is engaged, he wants to make, he has a lot of energy, he wants to work. But he got no information, he got nothing. He just to ask his boss, his supervisor, hey, can you give me something? Yeah, do this. And his boring work, just very transactional work, and this is a mess. Everybody remembers? Me not. I started as a boss. So if the thing changed, we need 2 hours just to explain my life. I can't talk about my life, I'm French, never forget, I can talk about something that doesn't matter. So we have Jason, but the problem is, Jason loves to dance. And after work, he goes dancing salsa. And the salsa club, he met a lovely woman. She's called Elsa. And they're talking, and what are you doing? Elsa is the assistant of the CEO, curiously. And what are you doing? They're talking the whole time about the company. So after a while, Jason knows much more information than his own boss. And he's more roughly, he can give information to Elsa to give to the CEO. Is bypassing the system. It's what you explained, Andrew, in your talk, this kind of thing, we call this sociograms. So structures never exist. Structure is a myth. So at the end, this is organization. This is structure. And for me, Agile means organization over structure. So how we build the company since a long time, it was we have fixed structures and we try to change the things. And now changing the paradigm is just turning the ship around. It's about having perhaps fixed or some kind of stable organization, but not fixed structure. This is a message that people understand at this level. This is why we need the input of HR. And this is giving a complete different approach of an Agile coach, because we're changing. Who is Agile coach here? Are you just tackling work, or are you need to work to change everything, the relations with the business, relations with the IT, and relation with HR, with everybody? It's a mess. It's a mess. I'm spending more time with not my team, because I'm also Scrum Master of one of my teams. But still I want to keep the roots to understand really what I'm doing. I'm practicing. And we need to talk about this to explain that the old model is obsolete. The structural model is obsolete. But you have to think about the organization. So what is the key about organization? Now we have 200 slides. When you think about organization structure, we are talking about robustness against resilience. Robustness against responsiveness. So when you talk about, you have a lot of startups that grow up a lot. Now you have 2,000 people in the startup, which we call it usually unicorn. And they say, I want to keep the same mood, the same emotion that when we were time, more short, more tiny. And this is more complicated. So the thing is we are speaking about robustness. Do you know the Titanic? Not the movie, the real story. The guy that crashed close to Newfoundland. Yeah? Titanic was the pinnacle of comfort and luxury, a high-powered radiograph transmitter, advanced safety feature. It was state-of-the-art of shipping. You know the story? Yeah. I'm the king of the world. The romance. Not enough safety boats. A lot of people died because people do not care. What is the story behind this is black swan. A black swan. Who knows what a black swan is? It is something unexpected. Absolutely. And this is, so you have everything perfect. My life was perfect. I studied, I get my degree, I start working, I get find a lovely woman, I get married, I get a child, I get a house, I get a company, I create my group, I get divorced, I was bored, I lost everything. This is a black swan. Is you plan, everything is perfect, your plan is perfectly planned, and bing, something happened, unexpected. The thing is, what we say when we say about change is just to be ready to do unexpected. For a company, for a structure, for, let's say for an organization, it's just about to make the organization flexible enough to react when the black swan comes. So here is more 3 kilometers, we are dead. 3 kilometers. You see the world, and you cannot react, like in our daily jobs. So what happens? So if you can't read, it's just written, oops, too late. Say European, but really nice. Robustness leads to disaster. So when my company, my customer in Switzerland, this private bank, came to me and said, Pierre, we want to be agile. You have a lot of money, you are 400 years old, what the fuck I can do here? Sorry, what the fork can I do here? See, you know, Pierre is easy. So we want to be agile. Say, forget this, what do we really want? Agile is not the solution. This is how you go to the solution. What is the point? Okay, we believe that we are stable. We are in Switzerland, private bank, stable, get the money, nothing happened. Money get out, get never out. Yeah, happened during World War II. We have still struggles here. And, yeah, sorry. And the thing is, the market is changing so fast, we cannot understand the market nowadays. So because they are too robust, they understand that something is turning around them, they cannot play with it. And it's for their high risk for the company. Has nothing to do with ID, nothing to do with the company. They come with VUCA principles. VUCA, this is the main discussion in all leadership groups in Germany. People are attending meetings on this and paying a lot of certification to understand the principle of volatility, vulnerability. I have to take this to give it properly because I'm stupid, I'm getting old. I'm jet lagged, so this is the proper thing. I have to say I'm jet lagged. Come on. So volatility. Come on, okay. Volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So now is not the risk is nothing about money, it's more about the volatility of the market. Because like a company like SAP, you can have a small company being a very big competition. You're a small company with a couple of developers just sitting in the kitchen, in grandma's kitchen, working and doing something like ERP system can be the next competitor and really making the wealth of the company in jeopardy. And the Forbes has written down something like every company, if they're not going in the agile way of doing things or this way to be responsive, in 5 next year will disappear. Think about Nokia, the problem Nokia, Kodak, BlackBerry. Okay, it's Canadian, sorry. Okay, so, but perhaps us, we need to adapt. Adaptation is not simple. Change, embracing change, sorry, change is not easy. If your colleague is a mom, has 4 kids, you say, we need to change, you say, hey, stop it. If I talk about change with my mom, you say, change, are you crazy? This is perfect, has to be stable. But change is just evolution, right? Yes, Pierre, you're right. Okay, responsiveness. This, so the contrary, this black swan, okay. This is small ships, what's the problem? Can have an iceberg, you don't have a problem. So this is understandable? Not yet, Pierre. You're a bit complicated. You're not speaking our language. Okay, so the idea is here. So now we have a small collection of ships working together like a crowd. And crowd, how is the principle, how is the process of the crowd? Flocking behavior. Like my magical turnabout is a flocking behavior. Flocking behavior have just simple rules. Focus on the target, avoid collision, and respect the rules. Following the target can be following the strategy or following whatever the strategy, and avoid collision, get aligned. And 3, perhaps, is just have a plan. 3 simple rules, not starting being schizophrenic. So then you build a system, what you call a safe-to-fail container. Safe-to-fail container, you let people fit into the safe-to-fail container. And then after a while, you just see what happens. The results, and based on these results of the container, you can take the decision to jump in another phase. So this safe-to-fail container is not a company, this is called a sprint. And the self-organization is called self-auto-commitment, a pull system. So if you make a Scrum, when you say, and you allocate the work, okay, it looks nice, perhaps works well for you, but to be honest, you're just reaching 5% of the possibility of the system. About, here the guy, this is the goal, try to do your best, you have 2 weeks, and then you come 2 weeks later, what do you have? I experiment this, I have options, I select just 3 or 5 options. Or this sounds interesting. You have next 2 weeks, just focus on this. And you go tighter and tighter, closer and closer to the expected result. If you remember, this is the corner of uncertainty, how to make it. So it's not controlling. But now the thing is, we have also this famous VUCA. So the thing I discovered is we just can't control this safe-to-fail container. As a coach, as a Scrum Master, whatever, I cannot manage people. If I manage people, I start micromanaging. This doesn't work, makes no sense. So I manage the system. So my system is, perhaps you need less than 2 weeks. 1 week is enough, perhaps 2 weeks. Perhaps my team is too big. And we can change, you have to adapt this. We are just managing the boundaries. Managing the boundaries is about people interacting with the team. So I just jump about Andrew's talk before, which was very, very interesting. We had a team in Germany when you had one guy, he never worked, a lazy guy, he made nothing. This is a case from a good friend of mine. They say, we have this, what should I do with this guy? Then I say, what have you done with this guy? I put it out from the team. Then what happened? My velocity sunk. I say, okay. So I say, this was perhaps a hazard. I don't know. So we keep it again beside from the next sprint. This is thinking again. I say, no, okay. Then I tested another thing. I put this guy again in the team. Then productivity increased dramatically. So it's a German, so not funny. And say, okay, at the end, what have you done? I keep this guy in the team, and we call it our Scrum puppet, because his job was to keep the dynamic in the team. So sometimes we come with our ideas completely wrong. I'll give another case. I was in Paris. I have a lot of developers, some kind of very Russian developers. So this is good for you from Ukraine, Russian, not good. So they are very, very, very smart and very open-minded. Good morning. I don't say good morning, I'm working. You're not talking with a guy. No, this guy is just stupid. I have fixed this problem himself. They not listen to me. Let's do my work. Okay, then I say, what happens in this team? Then I discover another guy, long hair, just watching videos, playing games the whole day on the computer. Developer. I make a safari. This is a walkthrough. We're going on a shop floor with the management. Say, hey, Pierre, is it normal that this guy, each time I come here, he's watching something, playing something? I say yes. Explanation? He needs that to have 5 minutes epiphany in a day, then comes up with a code which is just insane. Reaction? Then I have to pay him 5 minutes. No, he needs these 8 hours of games to. So it's about understanding how people are working. Each of us here is working completely differently. So our thing is, we say, I'm not doing Agile coaching, I do facility management. We just bring up a place where people can express themselves. And they don't need to be perfect, they're not robots. So you have diversity. Diversity, Agile is diversity of thinking, to enable to have a different way, with different culture, that are tackling the problem in a different way, and you have to have a place where this is possible. It's not about lean, when you have to reduce the waste. So Agile has nothing to do with lean. Sorry, I can talk, I was lean coach before being Agile coach. It's interesting, but it's not the same thing. If you want to be responsive, you have to increase the diversity of thoughts, of people how they tackle the thing. And we have everything is written. But I guess what I'm just talking for 2 is something that you practice since decades. Yeah? Wake up. I told you I'm boring. Okay, so we have a crowd. A crowd can be also a collection of teams. So I was once last year at SAP Scrum Master for 9 teams. This is feasible, 200 people. This is feasible. I say yes. So I create a Stockholm syndrome with them because I always say no. I train people to say no, not to say yes. Because the main problem in the company that people are never say no. The boss goes, can you do this? Oh, yes. You want to be a nice boy. I don't want to be a nice boy. I really don't care about you. And you have not to care about me. So it's in 2 ways. It's just to be factual. Factual is not to be, no is a good response. If you want feedback, you say, no, not possible, is a feedback. Or you're an asshole, this is a feedback. So you see, don't think about how it's looked. More, I'm 4.5 years old on my brain. Okay? Okay, crowd and fucking behavior. Think about magical roundabout, Swindon. A nightmare. But it works. And a big responsive organization look like this. So if you think why I'm using ships, because I do retrospectives in my teams. And we are a global company. So when you make a daily meeting, we have 5 time zones. Because nobody is working. So we don't have, and this is good because we're a global company. Okay, we have to handle this. So we use, in a retrospective, the speedboat game. Who knows this? No? You don't know speedboat? You have a sea, you have an island, this is the goal. You have a boat, you ask the team, okay guys, do you have anchors? Who is blocking progress? And you have propellers or beams. What is increasing? Helping you looking forward. But we improve this. My teams is choosing what kind of boats. What kind of boat was this sprint? It was sometimes a spaceship. Each team was completely different. Then we have a couple of other boats. But this is expressing, this collecting micro-narratives. People start talking with this. And my 5 time zones, so we have 7 different cultures. A lot of Latinos, people from Bucharest, people from India, and they understand this. So I take this to use this. My company actually is this kind of thing. Who is keeping my time? Nobody? Estelle, oh man. 7 minutes. I just have 300 slides. Okay. What might be the ultimate goal? So we need, say, the end in mind. What is the goal of an Agile? I'm going fast. It's an open space, like open space tech or Agile open space. Who knows this? A facilitation process. You're just having a time slot charter. You come in, you are able to speak or just not speaking, attending time slot of 1 hour. Everybody is participating. I created a conference, it's called play 14, you have 2.5 days facilitation, and you don't know the problem. It's called an unconference. It is, everybody has to be engaged. So you have to bring something or not. So this is the company. It's an open space. And the idea is we have a time slot, you come with a proposal, you have a time-bound open space, and people just pick what they want or they want to do. Nothing more, nothing else. I keep this the most simple as possible. So this is testable everywhere. It's much more complicated in a big company, but you have to remember, you have to keep the same logic everywhere. We're not adding things. I just want to remove things. Doing Agile is keep things simple, not adding things. You have enough work, enough complicated stuff to have. So here's an example. 2010, work with HR, friend of mine, hey, we can do this for the Agile. We decide, okay, then we have to refine this. We call something internal project market. It's like something like called idea scale. Is you can put ideas on a website, people can vote. And the idea is you have like an internal web, you can bring ideas, people have to vote. At the end of the month, we gather all together, we make a board, and the topics where you have the most vote is we have to talk about, you have to sell your ideas, and if you have less than 5 people involved in this, we don't take the project. It's about the whole system working on this. So IPM. The photo slides are still available since 5 years on SlideShare, so just with the comments. More smart than this one. If I go one step backward, because perhaps here, having a company like an open space where everybody is free, looks like more like socialism. I'm a European, I have no worries with socialism, because I'm living in a socialist country. Germany? Sweden? The people where, all the countries where Agile is just part of their nature are socialists. Sorry for that. I know. You won't be sleep this night. So now go back to hard money. One step back, what it is, like a venture capital. So I have a big responsive company. So the idea on the top of the company, they're no longer working on details, on having KPI based on something that doesn't matter. They usually have KPIs based on transactional work. So here is about funding, making portfolio consolidations, perhaps funding new projects, new ideas. Then you can give the dog a bone approach. You have to explain that the managers, if you want to slice the company to make it agile, you have all the managers and directors come, hey, in my place, you have perhaps a good idea, you get money, make it. And you have a couple of examples that works well. It is money saving for the company, at least in Europe. IBM in Belgium has this problem 10 years ago. They have too much senior directors. Instead of firing, I say they make a SWOT analysis. If they fire everybody, they lost a lot of money. So just, and the CEO was absolutely clever, say, hey guys, here a bunch of money, do something on your own. They create something called Skill Team, is business recovery in very complicated stuff. After 1 year, this small startup creates 20% of the wealth. After 2 years, 80%. So like if you do these service gems or hackathon with a company, you can make it the same thing at another level. You just rebrand it another name, but it's the same thing, the same behavior. A board of directors is just another team. I was Scrum Master of a board of directors. Say, you want the guys who are doing Agile, you have to do it first. I have just a fight with the CEO. Say, I was a HR director, I want to be Scrum Master. No, you're the product owner. I want to be the Scrum Master. So very childish, but it was fun. And it was for a huge insurance company, global, well, very big one. Not a small thing. but very funny. People are just the same. So if we have this at a higher level, we just have all these small teams, the small ships, working like an entity, working like a startup within the company. And this is just the portfolio of each company having a portfolio consolidation. The consequence of this is this will flatten the structure. This will increase the organization level, will flatten the structure. I proposed this on the board of directors in a call, just testing my ideas. This is cool. We are entrepreneurs then. Yes, sir. But then you're cutting this Peter's law when people are just reaching a level of incompetence, and then they can go also, these guys can also be empowered. So then not go to piss off your shoes as a team member, you're free to do the work that matters. It's called magic. One hand, the other hand can steal it. Come on. Okay, big responsive. So I'll go faster, Estelle. Je t'en prie. So, how these companies are then reacting to change. We have a black swan, they're splitted. You say, I don't care about black swan, so everybody is able to react. This is what all the case of Beyond Budgeting. If you know, who knows Beyond Budgeting? Go on bbrt.org if this topic is interesting. They are making this, and so we have a lot of companies since the 17s reacting of huge economic changes and adapted the system. And their Beyond Budgeting is getting very closer to Agile because they're talking not about leadership, but really about how can we organize the companies. Tu n'as pas besoin de prendre la photo, hein, c'est déjà disponible 4 jours hein, sur Slideshare. Tu n'as pas suivi. Hein. Feignant. Français. Okay, so phase 2 after Black Swan, so they are ready to react. So sometimes they rearrange the structure until they find the best way. So a company works with the same logic as a team is also a flocking behavior, also light. So the problem is, main problem is, so we should have garden keepers for the company or people having the readability to the company is what you call sociograms, is what you addressed also with your tools during your speech. And this is our purpose of Agile Coach, to understand how the company is behaving. We are designing the magic roundabout. Yes, Pierre, this is awesome. You, any questions? So you're tired, you're sleeping, have a question? Thank you. So I have to make like Steve Jobs, just one last thing. So I make this very, a bit British, a bit European session. Do you know Jeremy Clarkson? Who doesn't know Jeremy Clarkson? Okay, Grand Tour now of Amazon, before was Top Gear. He has been fired, like me usually. He's really British, so very straightforward. You see, I saw his presentation about a Ferrari. Now I think an organization should be a Ferrari. The Ferrari is the best car in the world because it's light, sharp, and nimble. So make your company light, sharp, and nimble so you avoid collisions. That's my talk. Thank you.